YouTube Tuesday from Barnabas Junction, brought to you in association with the Model Railway YouTube Community Group, MRYCG, connecting the Model Railway community together. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. Just search for MRYCG.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me for another episode of YouTube Tuesday. Straight away, we're going to say thanks to all the channel supporting members. Again, all listed there. And if you want to check them out, they are also all listed in the description. Links to all their channels. Go check them out and subscribe. Make sure you check out the bell button and select all notifications if you like what you see. So a massive thank you to every single one of those YouTube channel supporting members for joining me. Hello. Welcome to another edition of YouTube Tuesday with me, Barnabas Junction, Jason at Barnabas Junction. How are you all? Hope you've been well. Hope you're hearing me nice and clear. I'm just changing for myself, I'm just changing the quality of the stream. So good evening to one and all. How are we all on this today? The 9th of March, would you believe it? Isn't the year going fast? Yes, indeed. And for those young'uns, I hope you enjoyed your first couple of days or days back at school. So let's check out who's in the chat. Let's have a look. I'll start off the fresh. I'll leave that on there. Let's have a look. Let's go right back to the beginning. Plenty of you were already into Benton Road Model Railway, Flymo Chairman, Pete Clark, Donegal Dad, Digger Evans, Andy Hudson, Simon Trains. Good evening to every one of you. There's a lot. I know a lot more have come in since. I'm just looking down at my iPad. Amtrak Junction Ray. Good evening to you. Who else have we got in? I'll catch up. I have been trying to watch the chat as we've been getting going. So if I've been seeing a lot of people, yeah, Shanks. Thanks, Digger. The Growler's in. Good evening to you, CSX Wrensville. Kevin Shawbridge Junction. Evening to you. Angel Shares. Need to speak with you. Oh, I'm going to mention something about you very shortly. Arthur Humphreys, Banford Junction, good evening. This is the 2 o'clock DRS, sorry, 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock DRS service to Jason's layout call, and at Stockport Crew and Jason's layout change here for the 10 live stream service to depart. Yeah, Simon started on a little bug there. Good evening to Tim, Island Scenics. Thanks for joining us. Heritage Line, good evening to you also. David Atkins from British Columbia, hello, welcome to tonight. Timber Surf's in. I might be here, he says. I think you are. Hollybrook Junction, thank you very much for joining us. Crossways Junction, Bernie, good evening to you. Hope you are well. Right, I've caught up. You've all been saying hello to it. It's LNER19 at 46. Good evening to you. That's hi, Jason and all. March West Junction's in. I'm going to give you a few moments to for many more people to come in. There's 36 of you currently on the stream, so good evening and welcome to you all. Now, first of all, I'm going to mention this now, and I'll mention it again. Next week, we're going to do a live on-stream giveaway. So you've got to be on the stream next week to be in with the chance to win the giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway pretty much like a lot of other people do. It's going to be on stream, and whoever is in the stream, if you're here, you'll have the chance to win a prize. That prize is this Woodland Scenics Earth Colours Kit, C1215. It's never been used. This was supplied to me some time ago. All I've done is opened it to look inside. So it is all as brand new inside, never been opened. This is the prize that's going to be up for grabs. So if you want the chance to win this next week live on stream, make sure you are here. Okay. And tell all your friends and mates if they want a chance also to win this, they've got to be on the stream next week. So I'll start learning my numbers then. Simon, thanks very much, mate. Just looking at the chats. So everyone's still saying hi to one another. Nice prize, says Angels. Right. On another note, and this is going to be there's going to be 2 shout outs in one here. So this will be 2 of the 3 I'll be doing tonight. And the first shout out is, in fact, no, I'm going to do 3 in one. Purely because one of them spurred the other, which is for another. Angels, you'll know exactly what I mean. So, first of all, I've got to do a huge shout out to Angels Share Model Railway. Straight away, if any of my moderators would kindly like to post a link into the chat for Angels Share, please. I want to do this because Angels went on and did an absolutely amazing thing. Now, Melvin Fackler, good evening. Fackler, sorry, good evening. Hello, Barnabas, he says. I'm fed up doing lights, says Crossways. I love doing lighting, but it's the wiring that annoys me, Crossway Bernie. So, yeah, Angels got in touch with Sam of Peaks 47. So there's shout out number 2 in relation to Mark of Main Train. Now, he's changed his channel now to Main Train Eastport. Now, I did do a mention some time ago about Main Train's YouTube channel. I think it was in series 3. And following on for that, he is absolutely overwhelmed with the support that he's been given. Now, Angels has gone one step further and has organised support for Mark. And I'm just overwhelmed by the massive support that he's been given via Sam Peaks. Sam Peaks has done all the organising through all many businesses and manufacturers in the hobby, but it's all down to Angels for taking the step forward to getting the ball rolling. So a massive, massive, massive well done to you for taking that on board and getting the wheels in motion. We'll try and keep it all train related, shall we? So he got on board, he got the wheels in motion, and fantastic stuff. I myself have got a large parcel of goodies that I'm sending to Mark myself. I'm not going to show you what they are because I want to leave that one for Mark when he shows them on his channel. They are over there, over on the side, and there's quite a bit. I've been rummaging through a lot of my kits, my bits and bobs, stuff that I'm not necessarily going to be using anymore since I got them. And there's quite a lot of stuff, to be honest. And since I've shown Sam what I was going to send in, I have still added more stuff to it. So there's going to be a big bunch load of stuff going to Mark as my appreciation for all he's done for the country and the hobby. So massive, massive, massive well done to Angels, and a massive well done to Sam and all others that have been involved behind the scene to bring this generosity to Mark. If you don't know who I mean, go check his channel out. I'm not going to go into detail because it's not for me to do. But all I will say is absolutely amazing bloke. And he deserves all the support, not only for the hobby, but for what he has done in the past. So please, please check out Angels. The information is on Angels. Sam has done a video in relation to this, these donations that have been previous. Obviously, there's more since, and there will be follow-up videos, I do believe. So take a moment to go over to their channels, look at the videos and information. If anyone wants to actually post the link for Sam's video itself, feel free to. That any of my moderators, feel free to. That would make it a bit easier for people to find that particular thing. And you, if you want to, you can get involved too. Get in touch with Mark. Angels, if you don't mind, please get in touch with me privately, and I will let you know. And I'll have a chat with you about it also. So yeah, fantastic thing. So the 3 channels that deserve the recognition of shout outs for this entire show tonight are Angel Share Model Railways, Peaks 47, that's Sam, and Mark at Main Train Eastport. He used to be called Main Trains, but he's added the Eastport onto his channel now. So yeah, round of applause. Come on, give these guys a round of applause. If you don't know what they've done, you will be. It brought a little bit of a tear to my eye to think what this community, this model railway community, is doing for Mark, and as well for all the people around the community as well. So absolutely amazing, amazing. So please go check them out. Scrapline, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Andy Hudson says, I've already spoke to Mark. Yes, I've got Mark's details. I've not yet spoke to him myself directly, but I will do as soon as possible. But he is aware. He is aware. So yeah, good evening, Scrapline. It'd be interesting actually to know, for you to be here to see what I've done. Oh no, what have I done? What's that? That used to be a virtually completed rock face. So I have got my phone. It is plugged in. I'll just check it is not dying. I've got to keep an eye on the battery power. Put a new charger on it now, so it's not going to die. If anyone has seen my little Sunday chat live stream, I did a second camera using my phone. But the charging cable failed on me, and the phone died. So yeah, I scrapped my eyes. Got all eyes on. Yeah, what's that? Well, as you might have seen in the thumbnail, Sculptamold. Can you make your own? Well, I think you can. And I'd say at a fraction of the price of the actual product. Now, I've been checking out the prices of products that are needed for producing your own. Now, Sculptamold in itself, I think, if I remember right, a 3 kilogram bag of Sculptamold is about £12 from, I think, Amazon. All the places are available. And I don't know, I've never used the product. I've seen it, but I don't know how far it goes. I have been kind of White Cliffs of Dover. What's the yellow tape? What yellow tape? That's not yellow tape. It's a piece of board with some strip lighting on it, which isn't plugged in at the moment. Blue Slate, Jason, is the way forward. Yes, that is good on yours, but not for what I need, I'm afraid. I haven't got any anyway. So I thought, I've been working since last week. I've been working on further scenics, and I wanted to start progressing forward back to the main lines because I want to go from the back, work forward, so I'm not stretching over. I got to the rock face and I thought, I'm not happy with that. What can I do? I need it to be more rock-like. It was a bit too smooth. It looks okay. It looked a bit too smooth, and I thought, I haven't got any Sculptamold. I can't really produce much of a rocky scene. I haven't got any molds, things like that, to use on for plaster of Paris, that sort of stuff. So I thought, how can I make my own? Now, for this, usually what I do is I go on YouTube and I'll have a nosy, see what other people have done. But I didn't need to, because I saw a post online in I think it was in the MRYCG group, about how somebody had a go at making their own Sculptamold. Now, I didn't actually get to watch that because I didn't think about it at the time. What I ended up doing was just randomly, off the top of my head, thought, you know what, let's see if this works. And it has, at a fraction of the cost of the original stuff. Now, who in this chat has used Sculptamold? Love Sculptamold. The stuff lasts me ages. This area here, I would say, is about 1.5 meters in length, this bit here. If I was building that up, I don't know how much Sculptamold I would have used. But anyway, that 3.5 kilogram bag was about £12. Now, I had this lying round from quite a long time ago. Plaster of Paris. 1 kilogram bag. And that cost me £4. This, I've used loads of this, and there was about a quarter of it left. Okay. So I thought, how can this sets really, really fast. And I mean, if you just mix it up, it will set within minutes. So you've got to find a way of making it not set too fast so you can manipulate it. But at the same time, give it some form of bonding agent so you can create a scene, a rocky scene, like you would with Sculptamold. So I use this stuff. Kitchen towel. Plain white kitchen towel. Yeah. I used a total square sheets. No. There's two. That's 2 sheets. Okay. 2 square sheets. I just literally, in a bowl, the bowl's down there, in a bowl with lots of water, poured in the plaster of Paris, and then literally just shredded kitchen towel up into pieces. Okay. Put it in, mixed it all up. It was nice and runny, so it wouldn't set. So I could manipulate it. And then all I did was got my hands in and slapped it on. Slapped it all on there, and then just manipulated it into a rocky scene. Now I'm going to switch to my second camera so you can get a better look. So bear with me. When it decides to come up, there we go. And we'll set that camera full screen. Solo. So that is what I've achieved. I'll just move that down a little bit. I'm hoping that's not too blurred. So that is what I've achieved. And as you can see, it's got a very rocky look to it now. This did, when it was on, it was very, very wet. It was very, very runny. Okay. I did borrow the wife's, don't tell her, the wife's hairdryer. I borrowed the wife's hairdryer to help it dry a bit. But as it was drying, I just literally used a spatula and dug at it like that. It turned out very much like icing a cake. And I have to admit, I am really pleased with the effect it has now achieved. Now, it's nowhere near finished in preparation because there are some loose bits on it. If I just rub my hands on it, you might be able to see you have a little bit of a loose bit. It's got to have a bit of a wipe down just to get off any loose bits. And then hoover it up. But I have to say, I am very pleased with the overall results. Hi, Pennington TMD. Brayworth Park, good evening to you. New Durham Junction, excuse me. Carl's in, good evening. Jeff, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Martin Bertalan, good evening to you. 60 of you in the chat right now. Great to have you all. Thank you very much. So yeah, excuse me, need a drink. Hang on a moment. Dry. So yeah, so I'll just move this camera around a little bit. Bear with the shadow. I think my favourite bit over it all, if I can just get the camera to look at that section, excuse the shadow, it's actually here. This is my favourite bit, where there's actually a flat edge, and it looks like the it actually looks like the cliffside's been cut away to allow the railway to come in. So there is now what I've produced, and it just ends at where the grassing is, as you can see there. So now is the time for me to have a go at trying on painting this. So I'll just place the camera back down into a suitable place. Now, I want to try and do a much better better type of paint on this. I don't want to be just slapping any old paint on it now. Now I have got a few paints here. Ooh. Usual criminals, usual suspects. Move that camera. Got the usual suspects here. From Hobbycraft, Dallarowny. Now I am running low on my paints. I haven't been. I need to get there. So this one's quite a bit in this one. So I'm just going to have a play around with creating more of a watery colour. Now I have got some black wash as well. So I'm going to be drying little spots. I say it's not properly ready for full painting, but I thought what we'll do is we'll have a look. So what do you think? That's probably cost me, I say that the bag of that stuff was about £4 or £5 when I bought it full, and there was only a quarter in it. So I've used about £1 worth of plaster of Paris. The kitchen roll cost nothing, water, nothing. So doing this has probably cost me £1. Do you think it's created a better effect than using Sculptamold? Or would people say Sculptamold is the way forward for doing things like this, or even using the facts of foam, that sort of stuff? Bamford, do you guys enjoy the stream? I have to go now. No problem, Bamford. Thanks for joining. Something you can overpaint first, a prime if you will, says Flymo. Actually, I've got a primer, grey primer paint spray. Might be an idea to have a go at that. I'm going to try different paints. I'm going to splash a bit of this, that, and the other here, there, and everywhere to see what effects I can get. It's going to be a kind of it's going to start off here. Who asked that? Who asked that? Something about cliffs. I've gone and lost it now. The chat's just jumped up on me. Apologies. Let me have a look. Who said something about cliffs? The chat has just literally jumped up. Andy Hudson says, I like the way you can smooth Sculptamold. You can make a rough surface easily, but if you spend the time, you can get it to smooth off as a surface. Once painted will look good, gives a good effect. Didn't see hello Effingham. That was Pennington saying hi to Effingham. Hi Effingham. Jeff. Good result. It proves you do not have to spend lots on a product when you can make it yourself. Indeed, Jeff. Something you can overpaint a prime if you can. If it's going to have cliffs or just grassy stuff, right? It was Simo D that asked that. This is going to be cliffs, but as it gets further and further along, obviously I've got the grass embankment at the far end behind these paints. As it gets along, it will change to a more of a grassy embankment. At the very top, it will be grassy. May put a fence across the top, I'm not sure, or may just leave it open with some bushes and more trees. But definitely in places, it will be hugely just a rock face. Just catching up. Good evening. Oh, sorry, I'm late. Hope you're well. Hi, Ollie. Well, you keep well and take care, Bamford. You will find water-based paint will soak into it. Hi. Oh, Lemonton's in. Good evening, Lemonton. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. People saying still hello to each other. So yeah, water-based paints. Now, what I wanted to do is have a play about with some paint by adding some water to it. Now, I haven't a clue if this is going to work out because this is how I like to do it. It's all trial and error and done live on stream. So I'm just getting some water. And I've got some water in a syringe there to mix with paint. So what I want to do now, I know this black is extremely runny already. Make the plaster damp first. Thank you very much, Tim. That's the sort of thing I like to see. Great to have some advice. And Tim, just for you, you'll know the joke. We have Bertie. Tim is a good friend of Bertie's. If anyone doesn't know what Bertie is, it's Bertie the Blue Bottle. Check out one of my last videos from some time ago and you'll know exactly what I mean. Makes an appearance from now and then. Yeah, Scrapline laughing, Bertie. People saying hi still to each other. Make the plaster damp first. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I want to do an area that's kind of just in front of me. So this is just water in here. So just make it damp, not soak it. Just make it damp. St. Mary's, good evening. Just dampen it, yeah. So that is only a very, very fine spray. Yeah, Scrapline knows what I mean regarding Bertie. So that is, yeah, that's damp. That will allow, just give it a bit more. That's just a tad more. And let it drain down to the lower levels. That's excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try with little different paints. Now I don't want to go with the black, and I'm not going to go with the natural grey because, from my understanding, you pretty much start with the dark first, then progress up to lighter colours. Have you tried the Woodland Scenics plaster rock molds? They look great. I was going to try that, but I hadn't got any, and I couldn't get any in time for me wanting to do this. So this is why I tried this random idea, and I think it's paid off. Use the paint more as a wash. It will build up colours slowly. Thank you very much, CSX Rensville. So literally, let's get that bit off the top of it. There we go. Put that in the bin. So I'm just going to literally squeeze a dab in there. That'll do. Tiniest drop. Well, not tiniest. And this does have a little tiny bit of washing up liquid to break the surface tension. I think. Yeah, it's got a literal tiny squirt. So I'm just going to add some water. I'm not going to add too much because I don't want to add too much. And just mix that in, as you said, to create a bit of a wash. That helps if that's not rattling. That's better. Now this is a grey. It will look black. Actually, that's not a bad mix, that is. So it's still got a bit of thickness to it. Like I say, like CSX has just said, create a bit of a wash. So I'm going to even add a bit more water to it. So it is literally black water. So it'll soak in. All right, let's try that. I start the other way around with the rock mold, start light and use as a wash. See, that's the thing. I don't actually know. Now, I would have used a brush, but I've got a sponge here. It's just a cheap thing that's come with the kiddies paint set. So I'm just going to literally dab that in and dab it on and see. And just see what happens. Yeah, nice. I'm thinking, is that a bit too dark? Go around to the bottom. Now these, I think these are $1.99. A kids artist paint set, paintbrush set from B&M's, and it comes with about 20 brushes and a couple of these sponge bits, which are good for getting in like little nooks and crannies. Well, not sure if that's a bit too dark still. So what I'm going to do now, as we've done the dark, I'm going to like keep. Andy's just said, he said he started the opposite way around. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same with the white. Get a bit of water. Whoops. Wipe that. There's my cloth. There it is. I always work lighter washes, then go to dark. Right. Pound sprung, use a wetter, more watered down mix. It will flow better, like leopard spots, dab away randomly. Rightio. So a little bit more water he recommends. And like he said, start with lighter. Now, obviously we're using white on white, but it will be a different white. There's a bit more paint in there. White's quite thin actually. I put a bit too much water in. That's better. You can see it literally like a wash now. Right. Just wipe the sponge. Leopard spot. Use a yellowy gold start, then browns, then blacks. I've actually got some yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over that and see what happens. Oh, it's quite effective. So I'll get rid of the darkiness a bit. I'm probably doing it, like I say, I'm literally covering that over. That's what you can do if you make a mistake, cover it over. So I'm literally just going over that, because that might be better to have it a lighter colour than the dark. And start lighter. That's given it quite a lightish grey actually, which is quite good. See, it would probably be better if it was primed first. Another thing that made me slightly unhappy about it was the fact that the plaster clothing ribbing was still showing through. So by doing this, it's completely got rid of that. Yeah, it's great to get the thoughts from everybody, because I know nothing about this sort of thing. I don't clean the sponge. Right, so you don't clean the sponge so it mixes the paint together. Dry wash is very thin. It will build up as you add more. Yes, thank you. And just doing this as a test, just this patch here. We'll see how it goes. Now, what I'm going to do, Andy just mentioned, just literally cover that. Andy just mentioned some yellow, some goldy colour. I've got some different tones of yellows here. Just try and find them. Having a rummage through, so we've got a cadmium yellow dark. Right, just rummaging through what I have got. So I've got a bit of an I don't know what kind of yellow you would call that. I've just found I've got some dark wash, and I don't know if that's any use. I've got some of this, but if anyone's used it. Quick drying water-based paint for interior and exterior products by Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch multi-purpose paint, and that's a lemon yellow gloss. I don't really want gloss, do we? Just have a look at it. Might use that. We'll come back to that. Mineral Woodland Scenics, then burnt umber. I've got some burnt umber. If you brush over the plastic cloth while still soft, you can brush out the lines. Yeah, I did try doing that, but there were certain areas I think I completely missed, and obviously I wasn't happy after that had happened. So this yellow has never been used. So we're gonna just have a play with some yellows. Just literally, that looks rather disgusting. We're just literally playing around with different colours. Let's get that on the screen. So we've got some yellow here now. Ooh, some of that yellow. Ooh. And might have a go with that at some point. So let me now mix that in. That's what I need. See what kind of yellow we produce from this. So, camera back a bit. There we go. Just think how lovely that is. Definitely lightened up by adding water to it. It's not as vibrant as it was. It's mixing now. It's taking a while to blend it in. So to me, I think that's quite bright. Should be thin like skimmed milk. Yeah, that's definitely like skimmed milk. More water. And more water to the yellow, so it's very thin. I'll just show you to the camera actually how thin that is. It's actually still very watery. It's kind of lumpy actually. Might add a little bit more to that. It's that runny, you literally can pour it out of there. So that pouring it out, see how runny it is. This is very much like a wash. Now these are, if I'm doing a large area, I definitely think I would produce a larger quantity. So I wouldn't have a clue where it would have to go. It's still quite vibrant, isn't it? Still quite bright. That is very bright in my opinion. And as people will say, build it up. Yeah, definitely build it up, because to me, that looks awful. It looks terrible. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, nah, I don't like that. But as people have stated, if you build it up with different colours, it will change in its appearance. So what I'm going to do is just get a bit more of that white out there. That one, I'm thinking it's more of an egg yellow. Egg white, not egg white, egg yolk yellow. It's too thick. It's a new experience. Then all this, it's too thick. It should be running down the rocks. Yeah, I think that this is. I literally could pour that out of there. It's that runny. It's because I'm using a sponge. It will squeeze out of it. It's quite runny. I think if I was using a brush, it would drip off the brush. Just get that. That is very, very watery. In fact, that brush. Yeah, that is pouring. It's dribbling down. I'll use the brush. Yeah, it's running down. Completely wiped it all off there. Is that running? It should be almost translucent. Yeah, I do believe you're right. I will play around. This is why I like to get ideas from you guys. What is best? I'm literally throwing stuff at this to get ideas. I can't get the child safety lock off. There we go. I'm just literally getting anything I can find and throwing it at it. Now, obviously, this is... So, as you said, it should be running down. I'm just using this as an example. This is a wash, and literally, now, Tim, you can see that running down. Literally just absolutely making a mess. You see it running down? There we go. Ooh, that's splash it on. Let it run. Find its natural coursing through the rocks. And it'll soak in as it goes down. I actually quite like that. Oops, child lock, not suitable for me then. I quite actually like that wash. That's quite effective. That would be if it was on a decent colouring. That would be a nice added final touch. Let me just show you what, literally just throwing that on. Let me just put that on there. Let's move the legs of the camera out of the way. Just bear with me. Excuse that. So ignore the colouring. The colouring looks awful. But that brown wash, literally just splashing it on, has worked quite effectively, giving a I see your mess. You need a bigger brush. No, not for the washes, definitely not. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch them legs out and leave the camera where it is, directly in front. That's better, so you get a better view. So the microphone, I'm not using the phone on the microphone. Oop, nearly cancelled the stream then. Hopefully it's still there. Right, yeah. So, let's get some... That. Now, as you stated, more water. So that darker, I'm going to make it very runny. just mix that up. So it's literally water. So this is, yeah, that's more water. So this is literally just me testing things out. There you go. So we've got a wash now. It's just running down. Mixing the colours, going green. And it'll find all the nooks and crannies, as they say, as it goes. So what I'm doing is just squeeze it and let it run down. A bit too much there, I think. Just to dab that up. Might be a bit too much there. What do you think? Coming around. The black should be thinner than the other colours. That was literally, as you saw, it's ran down. It's mixing. I've not cleaned that off, so it's a mixture of colours. Probably making an absolute mess. But that's all the fun of it. We'll obviously cover over the white. Just dab along the bottom. Go through it, making sure there's no white showing. It's blending. The colours are blending. And we'll just build it up as we go. What we'll do is we'll get that wash again. Let's see what happens. Right. Oh, let me just mute that. Don't know why that volume's back up. So, why is that still doing that? Okie dokie. If I set that, so don't know why that's coming out of there now. Hopefully, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to take that cam off and bring me back to the main cam back in a moment. Right, so why has that just come back? Oh, wait. move that over there. There we go. Right, so I'm going to bring this camera over. So you can get a view with a different camera. I'm going to put some light on it, see? Ooh, sorry. So it looks like someone's puked, to be honest. And I've got Andy.
Hello.
Hi, Andy.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, not bad, you.
Yeah, I'm just setting my camera up, so I'm going to change cameras. But I can do. Don't you do a quick demo?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, mate.
I want to get me off my face to look a mess because I feel like a tramp at the moment. I wasn't expecting to do this.
Yeah, so Andy, you know, you're quite good at techniques and stuff like this.
Yeah, I've done it loads of times. So I've had to switch cameras.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what techniques you can use for us, and obviously show me some advice. I'm going to put you full screen.
Okay, so I've got
this is Andy from Worley.
So I've got a piece of plaster there, plaster rock, which is a Woodland Scenics mould. I've got me little plastic tubs, and I've got Woodland Scenics yellow ochre. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I mean. You give it a really good shake, but the amount of paint you use is tiny. There's probably too much in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got way too much there. It's only because it flew out the bottle. I've got a pint of water. So I'm going to fill this near enough to the top.
What sort of ratio would you say compared to what you did actually put in there?
There you go. That's near enough full.
Okay.
So it's probably 10% paint, 90% water.
Okay, excellent.
Give it a really good stir up. And then the next thing to do is just be completely random. So if you get your plaster.
Now, obviously, you mentioned to start with the lighter colours first, so you start with the yellows. What yellow is that, by the way?
That's yellow ochre.
Yellow ochre, okay.
So when you put it onto the sponge, you can hardly see the paint because it's almost that thin and that translucent, and then you just dab in it.
Yeah, I can see it running in. Just literally splash it on and dabbing it on. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. I'm not trying to paint the whole thing or colour the whole thing, but I've just done a really random splodges, which it looks a bit cack at the moment. But then you get your next colour. So I'm going to use a burnt umber. So I don't get loads of wasted paint. I'm going to try and do a bit less. There you go. You can see how little paint I've got in the bottom of that cup.
Now, just note that's Woodland Scenics Earth Colours, which is actually in that kit that's going to be available.
That's why I wouldn't give it away.
Yes, so this is a great way of doing your own, having a go at what brown is that by any chance?
That's burnt umber now.
Yeah, and that's actually in this kit, burnt umber.
So again, really thin down mixture. I'll put the lid on because I'm going to end up knocking these flying. But again, same thing. And the idea is just to run that down into the plaster.
Right. So build up your colours from light up to dark.
But what you'll find is as the paint hits the plaster, you'll get different colour textures because they'll blend into each other. The colours will change as it goes in.
What I'm gonna do.
So I'm not painting the areas. I'm just dabbing, chucking paint at it. Yeah. And straight away you've got 3 or 4 different shades there already because you've got the very yellowy gold areas, but you've got you've got very brown areas, but you've got colours in between that as well, because they're blending into each other.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you could add, I suppose you could add a green if you wanted to, or if you want to be really clever, you just chuck a bit of paint. If I add a tiny bit of green paint to the brown, all I'm doing is changing the colour very slightly. I've never done this before, so this goes wrong. So again, I've just added a tiny bit of green to that. I won't go too mad because you'll just look wrong, but straight
Well,
away
that's the joy, isn't it? If it's all about, if it goes wrong,
it goes wrong.
Yeah, it goes wrong. You just work out until you get it how you want it.
You got a slight green tint to that. Now, the last one I'm going to do is a black because I don't want to go too mad. So I've just got your cheap acrylic paints from a paint shop.
Yeah.
So this is what you've been using. And again, it's really thick paint like what you had. So I've got the tiniest bit of black paint in the bottom of there.
Jeff said it's the Hudson Masterclass.
I wouldn't go that far. The Hudson Mesh, more like.
Dunderwood said, "Is this the leopard spot method, or have I got the name wrong?" No,
it is the leopard spot method. So again, if you look at the black,
yeah,
how thin is that paint compared to yours?
It's just literally water, isn't it?
It's water in it. Now, when you add this to the rock, this is when it will all really pop.
Yes, I can see it now.
It works better with the black woodland ceilings, to be fair, than the. That's why you paint the pigment paint colour better.
Mm-hmm.
You got more pigment in the paint, and it's just better quality paint. But there you go.
Would you recommend it's good to allow the previous paints to possibly dry a little bit before going ahead and adding the next colour?
Yeah, it does help because if you want to see all the colours in, I would use woodland scenic cement and spray over the rock just to seal it.
Right. Well, I've got some of that actually. Funny you should say.
There you go. There you go. That there now. I picked up a bit. That's gone on a bit thicker, the paint.
Yes.
In this corner there, and it looks a bit better because it's actually sticking.
Yes.
That's so probably a bit
like coating the top.
It's probably a bit too thin with the paint, the black paint, to be fair. So I normally use woodland scenic because I can't find any grey. But the more black you go over it, then the darker it comes out.
Yes.
So I sometimes get more of a grey blend rock rather than.
You've just really blown my mind how quickly. What? It's been a couple of minutes and you've achieved that already. It's like wow.
And you can go further than that now if you want to go to that next level. I've got Tamiya paints.
Mm-hmm. It's all about it's just being random, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it is. So I'm using a Tamiya grey paint, normal Humboldt paintbrush. Paint it on, take it off. So using a bit of paper towel, so it's dry brushing. You know what you do then? Go in a downward motion.
Incredibly, although that's only a little you're doing, that's very effective. I can see it actually doing something.
And all you're doing is just highlighting the tops, the lead, the top, the face and edges where the sun will be on it. If you've got climbers, they're rubbing it with the hands, so you get a smooth surface. It's how the light picks up on it, and straight away you've got.
That's superb. That is.
There you go.
Well, I can tell you, I've just had a cloth and I've just wiped off what I've done.
But straight away, I've used 3 colours and tinted one colour. You get a really nice rock effect without going.
Tim says that looks great, Andy. Effective and quick.
I don't do anything that takes time.
Sorry, and David Atkins says now that looks like a rock.
It's quite a nice effect, isn't it?
Dunderwood said, spot on.
If you want to be really OCD, you turn it the other way around and get a dark colour and then do the dry brush in the other direction, so you get your low lights and high. So I do that with low lights as well now.
Okay, if you wish.
Again, I've got
good evening to the train freak, Jason, over the ponds. My man from over the pond. Good evening.
So this is just black, which is probably too dark, really, but it'll do for what I want. So just two.
Tim at Scrapline says simple and effective, indeed.
There you go. So when you turn it the other way around,
that has just blown my mind. That is on my rock faces look pretty much identical to what you've got there. So theoretically, I should be able to achieve kind of what you've just done there.
Dead easy. You just got to. I know the woodland scenic stuff is more expensive, but them earth colours you've got. I would
Jeff
open and use them.
Jeff just said, so now lockdown is easing, you can entice Andy over with some biscuits and he can paint the whole of the rock face for you.
I'm making a stream now, by the way. I've got enough with Stuart. I've got to do bloody Stuart's layout, so I'm not going to start doing another layout. No, I think it's a good technique. Obviously, I borrowed it from Woodland Scenics. I've watched their videos, but
that has blown me away how quick and effective that result you've achieved there.
Yeah, and obviously the main thing is look at what you're trying to model. Look at the different areas of the country. The rock will be a different colour. Yeah. So if you go to if I go up north and go around Cumbria and Shap and Penrith, it's you get what's called Shap granite. So it's a very pink, a pink coloured stone. So you'd modify the colours for that. You use maybe a bit of red rather than a yellow to give it that pinky texture. Whereas if you go to North Wales, it's like a blue grey slaty colour. So you'd change your colours accordingly. But there's so many different pigment colours you can choose, and it's just really a case of have a go. And this is just a plaster mould. Yeah, you make three or four of these up, and then you just do what you want with it and change your colours. And it works. It's dead easy.
Excellent stuff.
There you go. So I'm going to go.
Thank you very much. So if anybody wants any rock faces painting, get in touch with Andy, who'd quite happily do some for you.
I've got enough on my plate. Okay, mate. So, I'll leave it to you.
As you can see, I've just wiped off. I wiped it down. I'll start again with that. Using your techniques, I'll give it a bit of a white priming first to cover over and blend it all in a little bit better. So I'm just going to switch the camera around. Whoop.
You might find if you don't bother cleaning it off, just go over it. But because if you use a thinner paint, you'll find it will flow. But once it's flowing better, you'll find you can cover up a lot of mistakes with if you let it dry off and then just start again. Yeah.
I was going to do a little patch just to try different techniques and see what I produced with the plaster of Paris mixture, Sculptamold mixture, came out, and see what it would look like with the paints. And I think it has produced a much better result of a rock face compared to what I previously had. And this is why I wanted to do these kind of things on these streams, is to just basically show we're not all perfect. We will make errors, but we learn as we go along, and together we all learn to improve our skills.
Absolutely. The main thing is you're not trying to paint the rock, you're trying to wash. You're using a wash to wash the rock. And the more random, the better, because if you try and do it, you're trying to paint individual bricks, it won't look random. So you want just a complete random look. And you can see, I didn't even bother changing. I used one paint shot thing. And I just went for that's why I meant like to start
blend the different colours together, doesn't it?
Yeah, you get like a, you want rock isn't one color. It's not. It's natural. It's random. It's whatever. Yeah.
Bernie of Crossways Junction says, where has he gone? I bet mine doesn't turn out like that. Laugh out loud. Well, mine certainly didn't. But
Have a go.
Have a go. I'll start again and see what I can do. It's recoverable. It's my, like I say, it's my layout. This is my third rock face here, and every one is on top of the other. So there's actually 3 layers of rock faces underneath here now. So I'm learning, I'm progressing. It's getting better. It's never perfect until I'm happy with it, and I'm more happy now than what I was before.
Do you want me to grab my WWS Scenics dio I'm building?
Go on then, quickly. Yes, WWS. Is this for the 18 by 18?
Yeah.
The competition that they're doing?
So I've added the rocks into the
hillside. Is that a water scene at the front, or is that just a foam that's not been covered over yet?
There. That.
Yeah, in this corner.
That's going to be a river eventually.
Right.
That's going to be a wooden deck bridge.
Excellent.
So,
good evening, Ohio Steam and Steel. Welcome to the stream. Top marks, Andy. I will try that as and when I decide on rocks. Flymo, different substrates will absorb presuming means substances will absorb at different rates too. Fantastic. Yeah, it's great to get the advice and the assistance. And when they say it's messy modelling, it certainly is, because you want to see the floor underneath here with all the plaster that's gone everywhere. That's how it goes. You
want to see the state of my desk under this piece of kitchen towel?
Flymo's just put your link in for your channel, I believe. Thank you very much, Flymo.
I don't use it. I don't get time.
In fact, tomorrow, that's just before you shoot off, before we do come to the end of the day. Tell us about where you'll be tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, we've got Carol from the Loco Ladies on tomorrow. We were going to have Hornby magazine, but Mike's got a small crisis with the magazine to sort out, so he's asked me to move him back a couple of weeks. We've got Carol stepping in from the Loco Ladies, so we're going to have a chat about her modelling, Great Model Railway Challenge. She's going to be a demonstrator at this year's show, so we might get any insight into what she's going to be demoing, which should be good. It's only on for an hour, so between 2 and 3.
Yeah, Carol's tomorrow. A lovely lady, and her modelling is top notch. She's achieved some fantastic scenics. I've been following her scenic series during the lockdown period, and it's just astonishing what she's managed to achieve. So I look forward to catching up with that. So that's on the Worley channel tomorrow.
It's on the Worley channel tomorrow. The good thing with Carol is Carol will use paints like this, the cheap paint shop paints, and get the same sort of results I get with the woodland scenic stuff, which is what 4 times the price. So it's what you're used to, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Good evening, Wilbury Castle Railway and Modelling, and also good evening, Upwell and onwards. Thanks for joining us. Just missed Andy doing some demonstrating of painting a rock face after I had an attempt, and it didn't turn out too brilliant, but there's this little demonstration. If you want to know how that was done,
just rewind about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it took him 5-10 minutes maximum just to do that. Then check out the rewatch of the stream a little later on, and leave your comments below. Again, shout out to the 3 channels again from the beginning of the show. We have got Angel Share Model Railways. Shout out to them. Shout out to Sam at Peaks 47, and the main shout out is for the main man on Main Train Eastport, for all the support that people are giving him during these times. So if you want to know what that's about, then it's a big donation collection being done. So huge thank you to Angel Share for bringing that to our eyes and ears, and for Sam doing a wonderful job over at Peaks 47 on collecting and doing the collection that he's already gone through. And he has said he's going to be doing an update very soon. Top-notch stuff. So yeah, Flymo again is just sharing the links. Please check them out. If you like what you see, then do subscribe and hit the bell. Click the bell and select all for notifications, and make sure you interact with any channel that you do subscribe to, so YouTube will remove your subscription if you just click it and leave it and not bother with it. Thank you very much there, Flymo.
We're going to see you have another go, Jason, tonight, or are you going to disappear?
Say again, sorry?
You're going to have another go at the rocks now, or are you going to disappear off?
I'll leave it for now. I'm going to let that dry off because that's actually ended up quite soggy and it's starting to smoothen out, and I don't want it to. So I'm going to let that dry off, but I will have a good go. I need to get myself some more paints because I am running really low on paints, and I need to get some better paints because the ones I actually really did need for tonight, I've ran out of. So yeah, I need to pop to the hobby shop and grab a few tubes of some decent paint to work with.
You can the Vallejo stuff works quite well as well as so you can go for like the Vallejo white top paints.
Oh right, yeah.
That's a really good quality. That's a really good quality paint.
They're a big favourite across the many models at the moment, including Tim's Scrapline. I know he uses them considerably.
But again, because it's a better quality paint and the pigment count is higher in the paint, you don't need as much paint. You water it down. So that's where the cheaper paints, the pigment count isn't that high. That's why it's cheap paint.
Right.
So you tend to need more paint to get the colour, whereas a good quality paint will have a higher pigment, a stronger pigment, and it tends to water down better. And that's what you want it to do. When you water it down, you want the pigment to be strong still, so you've got that flow effect.
Fantastic. I'll have to check them out then. If you want to let us know on some product codes and stuff like that, then feel free to get in touch.
Ideally, wait till the shop's open and just walk into a local shop and pick them up.
Yeah. Good thing is, there's quite a few, and I know one of my local shops does actually sell those paints.
But it's good. I think they're about 150, 160 a pot. And you get,
obviously, you don't use as much. It'll go a lot longer. It'll go a longer way.
Absolutely. And I know, I can't say how big they are, how much paint you get in them, but 17 millilitres.
Okay.
So like, compared to 120 millilitres, it's obviously a big difference, but you get a nicer finish.
Excellent. Right. Well, thank you very much, Andy.
No problem.
Next week, make sure those of you are on stream next week if you want the chance of winning this little beauty.
I'll enter.
Let me turn the ring light off because it's reflecting back on the box. So some of the items colours that Andy was using are in this. This is the Woodland Scenics Earth Colours Kit C1215. You can get the opportunity to win this next week live on the stream. Brand new, only been open to have a look in it. It's never been used, so it's up for grabs next week. So make sure you're live next week on the show to win this during the stream. It's not going to be one of those where we'll do it for weeks. This will be a giveaway live on the stream. And will you be having a go for that, Andy?
Absolutely. I need a black or grey. I need, so definitely.
Well, let me just tell you what colours we've got. The white's in it, concrete, stone grey, slate grey, black, raw umber, burnt umber, and yellow ochre, or however you pronounce it. So those are the colours that actually you were just mentioning about. So yeah, I would have been good to use this, but no, this is going to be available as a giveaway to you, all you wonderful viewers. So make sure you tune in next week.
And it's worth checking out the Woodland Scenics website and YouTube channel because they've got some fantastic tutorials. They're far better at doing tutorials than I am. And they get some fantastic results. And the videos are superb. The quality of video is far better than what we can produce.
I think there is a link in the description of the video below which takes you to their website, as well as other products that I've used on the layout recently, like Pico, WWS, all them kind of links. They're all there. Check out in the description of the video. for products used on it. The wife's having. Everyone's saying hi to the wife.
Hi, Rachel.
We all can't be models.
She comes to visit. I want a Sunday dinner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's drooled over many a Sunday dinners, courtesy of produced by the wife, and yeah, I think he wants to consume one in the future. So we'll see what we can sort out.
Pizza.
Yeah, the wife would have been in chat earlier, but she's had an interview with a very, very important person today over Zoom. Details will be shown on the Sonnet Radio very soon. So if you want to know about what she's been up to, make sure you check out Sonic Radio on Facebook and elsewhere, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, for details on what she's been up to tonight. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you a clue. She's interviewed a TV star today. Not going to say anything more, but that's it. Someone who's been on TV and is very, very a big TV star. That's the reason why she's only just appeared. She's finished her in. She's been interviewing them for a couple of hours, so I'll have to wait and see. I looked, can't post any of that in here. Check the video header. Yes, it's in the description. Thank you very much, Flymo. Set a place for me, right? Says Dave Atkins. Pause, overwhelmed. Nice bit of work you did regarding main train. Yes. Oh, Brian. Is that Brian? That's Angel Shell's name. Yeah, Brian. Thank you. Sorry, Brian. I did know your name. I just naturally call everyone by their channel name. Right. Nice one and exclusive. Well done, Rach. So, yeah, if you want to know what she's been up to, check out Sonic. Right. So that's going to be about it. There was something else I wanted to mention and I've forgotten. I've been expecting a parcel to arrive so I can carry on with Scenics. It was dispatched last Tuesday, but it hasn't arrived. So it's taken nearly a week to get it. It should have arrived probably either Saturday or Monday, but it hasn't. So I might have to get in touch with them to find out if they got a tracking number for it, because they haven't given me one. So next week, obviously we've got the giveaway to do live on stream. I'll show you the progress of what we've been doing on some of this painting, hopefully, and there will be more Scenics. Also, something else I've been asked to do, and that is to take a look back at the TMD. And I may, if I clear it off, we may do a TMD running session one day in the future weeks on one of the shows. So if you like that sort of thing, if you want to see a running session on one of these and you like it to be in the TMD, let me know in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, and we'll see what we can do. We'll kind of do a little bit of a vote, I think, on what sort of things you'd like to see continuing on in this series 4. Andy, what is your sort of best thing? Is it running sessions, Scenics, or just a bit of everything?
I like Scenics. Running session. I don't bother playing trains. I build a layout and then start. When I finish, I start another one. I don't get time. I never run a train in my life. I had an exhibition layout at the show, and I didn't even got money once for the whole weekend. I got lackeys to do the running because I get bored. I'd rather model and chat and talk to people. So playing trains is boring. I don't get any enjoyment from it. I don't know why. I've never have. I build it. I've run a train through a couple of times. It looks nice. I think that's all right. Then next.
Excellent. Right then, guys.
Can I have
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Andy, for coming in and doing that short demonstration. If you want to see back about what he's been doing, check back on the replay. I certainly will be, because I'm quite interested about what he did. I'll be watching back over that. Thanks to everybody for joining us this week. We'll see you again at the same time, same place, same channel, this time at 8 o'clock again next Tuesday for more stuff. If you like what you see, please do subscribe. I've noticed recently there's more people watching that are subscribing. Please do subscribe. Click the bell to select all and interact with the channel. It's great to see so many of you. It's also great to see a lot of newer faces, newer names, sorry. Can't see faces through words, can we? New channel names appearing in the chat. And yeah, please subscribe. Give it some thumbs up. It is free to do just subscribe. And anyone that wants to support the channel, feel free to. There is an option to join as a channel subscriber as well. Channel member as well. Sorry, not subscribers. Subscriptions are free. Channel memberships are there for you if you want to help support the channel. So thanks very much, Andy.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
Take care, Andy. I'll drop you off the stream. Staying down below. I'll have a word in a moment. So thank you very much for joining me this week. Oh, it's dry up here. Need a brew. I'll get off now. So yeah, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay well. Things are looking up. Exhibitions are coming soon. Fingers crossed. We'll see you again very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.